Fatal beat. How to survive when your heart decides to stop. Have you ever wondered what you would do if your heart stopped right now? Have you ever thought about how you would react if you were alone when the first signs appear? Or worse, would you be able to identify that you are having a heart attack before it is too late? Thousands of lives are lost every year because people simply don't know how to act at the crucial moments of a heart attack. Those first few minutes determine whether you'll tell your story or become just a tragic statistic. Have you ever wondered if you would be prepared to face this moment that can come without warning? The answer to that question may be the difference between life and death, and today you're going to learn exactly what to do. Every second counts when it comes to heart health, and arming yourself with knowledge is the first line of defense against this silent enemy. The knowledge you're about to acquire can save not only your life, but also that of someone you love. Let's get started. Step 1. The hidden signs that your heart is crying out for help. Many people ignore the initial signs of a heart attack because they believe it is just a temporary malaise. This is the first and most fatal mistake that can cost your life. When it comes to your heart, every minute of hesitation decreases your chances of survival. The most classic symptom is a pain or discomfort in the center of the chest that does not seem to subside. This sensation is often described as overwhelming pressure, as if someone is sitting on your chest. Imagine a giant hand squeezing your heart. That's the description many survivors report. The discomfort can radiate to other parts of the body, especially to the left arm, neck, and jaw. In many cases, the pain begins in the chest and spreads to these regions as waves from an internal tsunami. In other cases, interestingly, the pain can start directly in the arm or neck without affecting the chest initially. Sudden shortness of breath is another alarming sign that your heart is crying out for help. Feeling breathless even without making physical effort, as if you had run a marathon while standing still, is a red flag. Your body already knows something is wrong, long before your conscious mind admits the seriousness of the situation. Cold sweating, sudden pallor, and severe dizziness may accompany these symptoms. Many people report a sense of impending doom, an inexplicable foreboding that something terrible is happening. Your survival instinct is right. This is no time for denial or to wait it out. A common mistake is to confuse the signs of a heart attack with digestive problems. Intense nausea, feeling of acidity, or even vomiting can be part of the picture of a heart attack. This mistake leads many people to take antacids when they should be calling 911. Women often have different symptoms than men, which leads to late diagnoses. They may experience extreme fatigue, dizziness, and shortness of breath without the typical chest pain. Recognizing this difference can save many female lives that are lost by confusing heart attack with stress or anxiety. If you or someone close to you is experiencing any combination of these symptoms, don't hesitate for a second. The clock is ticking, and every minute your heart doesn't get adequate oxygen means heart cells dying permanently. And now, do you remember all these signs? Or would you need to review them in a time of emergency? Step 2. The call that can be the difference between life and death. If you have identified the warning signs of a possible heart attack, don't waste time. The next action can determine whether or not you will survive the event that is happening inside your chest. Pick up your phone immediately and call emergency services. In Brazil, the number to be dialed is 192, SAMU, or 193, firefighters. Record these numbers in your memory right now, because during a cardiac emergency, panic can make it difficult to even remember your own address. Those initial minutes are too precious to waste looking for basic information. When talking to the attendant, be direct and objective. I suspect I'm having a heart attack. This simple phrase puts the entire emergency system on high alert for your case. Describe your symptoms exactly as they are happening, without minimizing them out of shame or fear. Please provide your full address, with clear landmarks to make it easier for the ambulance to find. If you are in an apartment, do not forget to inform the number and block. The way you communicate your emergency can speed or delay help by critical minutes that make a difference in recovery. Tell them if you have a history of heart problems or if you use any medications regularly. This information is vital for the medical team to prepare the appropriate treatment even before it reaches you. Also mention if you have had previous heart attacks or if you have had heart surgery. Do not hang up the phone until you receive specific instructions from the attendant. In many cases, they can guide you through procedures that can help until the ambulance arrives. Following these guidelines can be decisive for your survival at this critical time. If possible, leave the entrance door unlocked for easy access by the rescue team. Every second paramedics save on not having to force an entry can mean heart cells saved. Have you ever stopped to think about how small details like this can make a huge difference in a life or death situation? Step 3. The vital posture that enhances your chances of survival. While waiting for help to arrive, the position you put yourself in can drastically influence your survival. Don't stand around trying to be strong or walking around the house in a panic. This only adds to the work of your already overworked heart. Find a place to sit or lie down with your torso elevated, never completely lying down or standing. The semi-sitting position, with the head and chest slightly elevated, is considered ideal during a heart attack. This pose makes breathing easier and reduces pressure on the heart, minimizing the effort required to pump blood. Think of your heart as a damaged pump. The less pressure you put on it, the better chance it will keep working. Choose a place that is easily accessible to rescuers, preferably near the entrance of the house or apartment. Avoid positioning yourself in bathrooms or narrow areas where it would be difficult to perform emergency procedures. The location you choose to wait for help can determine how quickly paramedics will be able to start essential treatment. Loosen any clothing that may be tight, especially around the neck, chest, and waist. Ties, tight necklaces, belts, and even bras can compress important blood vessels and make it difficult to breathe already compromised. This simple action can improve blood flow and oxygenation at a time when every oxygen molecule counts. If you're wearing dentures that are loose, consider removing them to avoid the risk of choking if vomiting occurs. Also, remove goggles and accessories that may hinder emergency procedures such as cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Small details like these are rarely mentioned, but they can make a crucial difference in the timing of care. Keep warm with a light blanket, as shock can cause body temperature drop. Avoid, however, blankets that are too heavy that can increase the sensation of compression in the chest or make it difficult to breathe. Have you ever thought that something as simple as blanket choice can influence your chances of survival? Step 4. The little miracle pill that everyone should have at home. There is a common medication that can make a striking difference in your chances of survival during a heart attack. This medicine is available in almost all pharmacies and is probably already in your medicine cabinet at this point. We are talking about aspirin, a powerful ally against heart attacks that few know how to use at the right time. Aspirin acts as an anticoagulant, preventing platelets from clumping together and forming clots in the coronary arteries. During a heart attack, a clot is obstructing blood flow to a part of your heart muscle, causing cell death. Aspirin can help prevent the existing clot from increasing in size, thus limiting the extent of damage to your heart. The recommended dose in case of suspected heart attack is 300 milligrams, the equivalent of a common tablet. Do not swallow the tablet with water as you normally would. You should chew it thoroughly before swallowing. Chewing dramatically speeds up the absorption of the drug, causing it to enter the bloodstream in a matter of minutes, not hours. Importantly, aspirin should only be taken if you have no known allergy to this medication. If you've ever had allergic reactions to aspirin, or if you have active stomach ulcers or bleeding problems, avoid taking it. It is also not recommended for people taking potent anticoagulant medications, such as warfarin. If you have questions about the safety of taking aspirin in your specific case, ask the emergency responder by phone. They can guide you on the most appropriate decision based on your specific medical history. Have you ever set aside an aspirin in an easily accessible place in your home in case of emergency? Step 5. The power of human connection in critical moments. When we are facing a cardiac emergency, instinct can tell us not to disturb anyone. This is a potentially fatal mistake that many people make out of pride or fear of causing inconvenience. Never face a heart attack alone if there is any possibility of alerting someone close. After calling the medical emergency, try to contact a family member, friend, or even a trusted neighbor. A simple message like, "I'm feeling sick and I've called an ambulance. Please come," can save your life. The presence of another person during a cardiac emergency can triple your chances of survival, according to experts. This person will be able to help by providing crucial information to paramedics if you lose consciousness. Details about your medications, allergies, and medical history can make all the difference in emergency treatment. Plus, she'll be able to guide the rescue team to you, saving you precious minutes. If you live alone, consider installing emergency apps on your phone that can alert predefined contacts. There are even modern wearable devices that detect falls and drastic changes in heartbeat, sending automatic alerts. Have you ever thought about how technology can be your ally in a time of extreme vulnerability? Staying conscious and in contact with someone until help arrives can help control panic. The feeling of isolation during a cardiac emergency increases stress and consequently, the work of the already compromised heart. Hearing a friendly voice can literally calm your heart at a time when every irregular heartbeat counts. If you're alone and unable to reach someone, stay focused on controlling your breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose, counting to 4, and exhale through your mouth, counting to 6. This simple technique can help reduce anxiety and improve oxygenation while you wait for help. The silent revolution. How to shield your heart daily. Learning to survive a heart attack is essential, but you know what's even better? Never need to use this knowledge because you protect your heart daily with smart choices. Cardiovascular prevention is a science accessible to everyone and starts with small daily decisions. Heart disease is largely preventable conditions related to the lifestyle we have built over the years. Every meal we consume, every hour of sleep we neglect, and every cigarette we light has a cumulative impact on our heart health. Your heart silently records every choice you make, building a history that will determine your cardiovascular future. Studies prove that 80% of heart attacks could be prevented with lifestyle changes. This impressive data shows us that, in most cases, we are the architects of our own cardiovascular health. Imagine that you have the power to reduce by 4/5 the chance of facing the emergency we described earlier. The good news is that it's never too late to start taking better care of your heart. Research shows that even after decades of unhealthy habits, the heart has a surprising ability to recover when we give it what it needs. Are you ready to discover how to transform your heart into a heart attack-resistant fortress? The longevity menu. Foods that transform your cardiovascular system. Diet is probably the most influential factor in your heart health. What you put on your plate 3 times a day has a direct impact on your coronary arteries and heart function as a whole. Creating a cardioprotective menu doesn't require advanced nutrition knowledge, just a few conscious choices. Prioritize the consumption of healthy fats found in cold water fish like salmon, sardines, and tuna. These omega-3 fats have a powerful anti-inflammatory effect, reducing the risk of plaque formation in the arteries. Just 2 weekly servings of omega-3 rich fish can reduce your risk of death from heart disease by up to 30%. Extra virgin olive oil is another indispensable ally in cardiovascular protection. Rich in antioxidants and monounsaturated fats, it helps reduce bad cholesterol, LDL, while preserving good cholesterol, HDL. A daily tablespoon of this golden oil is enough to start reaping its heart benefits. Red and purple fruits such as strawberries, blueberries, and dark grapes are true treasures for the heart. They contain compounds called anthocyanins that improve endothelial function, the inner lining of blood vessels. A daily handful of these small fruits can significantly improve the health of your blood vessels in a matter of weeks. Drastically reduce your consumption of ultra-processed foods rich in refined sugars, trans fats, and sodium. These 3 components are the main villains of cardiovascular health, promoting inflammation, insulin resistance, and hypertension. Did you know that for every 10% increase in the consumption of ultra-processed foods, the risk of cardiovascular events increases by 12%? Get into the habit of reading food labels paying special attention to the amount of sodium and added sugars. Many seemingly healthy foods are real salt and sugar bombs disguised under technical names on the ingredient lists. Learn to identify these harmful ingredients, and your heart will silently thank you with every beat. The secret move: the exact dose of exercise your heart craves. A sedentary lifestyle is now considered the fourth largest risk factor for global mortality. Our bodies are designed for movement, and our heart cells rely on regular physical activity to maintain their efficiency. The good news is that you don't have to be an Olympic athlete to reap the cardiovascular benefits of exercise. Studies show that just 150 minutes of moderate physical activity per week, the equivalent of 30 minutes in 5 days, reduces the risk of heart disease by 40%. This is probably the best cost-benefit ratio in terms of cardiovascular prevention that exists. Every step you take is a direct investment in the health and longevity of your heart, generating returns that no financial investment could beat. Walking is one of the most accessible and effective exercises for heart health. It does not require special equipment, can be done anywhere, and has a very low risk of injury, being ideal for all ages. A 30-minute walk daily already produces measurable benefits on blood pressure and heart function. Activities that combine movement with pleasure are more likely to become long-lasting habits. Dancing, swimming, cycling, or gardening can provide the same cardiovascular benefits with the bonus of personal satisfaction. What physical activity do you genuinely enjoy and could incorporate into your routine without it feeling like an obligation? Strength exercises, such as lifting light weights, are also crucial for cardiovascular health. They help maintain muscle mass, which in turn improves glucose metabolism and contributes to a healthy weight. Just 2 weekly sessions of resistance exercise can perfectly complement your aerobic activities. Remember that any move is better than no move at all. If you lead a sedentary lifestyle, start slowly and gradually increase the intensity and duration of activities. Your heart needs time to adapt to new levels of physical demand, and respecting this process is part of prevention. The quiet mind. How emotional control saves your heart daily. The connection between mental health and heart health is one of the most fascinating areas of modern medicine. Chronic stress, anxiety, and untreated depression are risk factors that are as damaging to the heart as smoking or hypertension. Taking care of your emotional health isn't a luxury. It's a cardiovascular necessity. During episodes of acute stress, the body releases hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol that increase heart rate and blood pressure. This mechanism, designed to help us in dangerous situations, becomes toxic when constantly activated by daily stressors. Your heart isn't designed to withstand a constant state of alertness. It needs regular periods of quiet to recover. Mindfulness and meditation practices have been scientifically shown to reduce blood pressure and resting heart rate. Just 10 minutes of mindfulness meditation a day can significantly decrease inflammatory markers associated with heart disease. This age-old practice works as a daily reset for your overloaded cardiovascular system. Adequate sleep is perhaps the most underrated of heart protectors. During deep sleep, blood pressure decreases, allowing the heart to rest and recover from daily exertion. Sleeping less than 6 hours a night is associated with a 48% increase in the risk of developing coronary heart disease. Cultivating positive relationships and a social support network also protects your heart. Social isolation and chronic loneliness are associated with a 29% increase in heart disease risk and 32% increase in stroke risk. Have you invested enough time in meaningful human connections that nurture your emotional health and, consequently, your heart? The invisible poisons, habits that are silently murdering your heart. Certain habits act as real poisons for the cardiovascular system, even when their effects are not immediately noticeable. Smoking remains the most devastating modifiable risk factor for heart health, accounting for 1 in 3 deaths from cardiovascular disease. The good news is that quitting this habit brings almost immediate benefits, some starting in as little as 24 hours. Excessive alcohol consumption is another silent enemy of the heart. While small amounts of certain alcoholic beverages may even have protective effects, consumption beyond the recommended limits causes direct damage to the heart muscle. Alcohol abuse over time can lead to a condition called alcoholic cardiomyopathy, where the heart becomes enlarged and unable to pump blood efficiently. The use of recreational drugs, especially stimulants such as cocaine and amphetamines, poses an acute and chronic risk to the heart. These substances can cause spasms in the coronary arteries, fatal arrhythmias, and even heart attacks in young people with no other risk factors. The risk of an acute cardiovascular event increases 24-fold in the first few hours after cocaine use. Self-medication with anti-inflammatory drugs for prolonged periods can also harm the heart. Medications such as ibuprofen and diclofenac, when used in high doses for long periods, increase the risk of cardiovascular events. Always consult a doctor before using any medication regularly, even those sold over the counter. Spending many hours sitting without interruption is now recognized as an independent risk factor for heart disease. Even people who exercise regularly but spend the rest of the day sitting are at elevated risk. Have you ever implemented short active breaks during your workday to protect your heart from the harmful effects of prolonged inactivity? The Expert Look: Why your doctor is your best ally in heart warfare. No cardiovascular prevention strategy is complete without regular medical follow-up. Many risk factors for heart disease are silent and can only be detected through specific tests. Your partnership with qualified healthcare professionals is critical to a truly effective heart protection plan. Hypertension, diabetes, and dyslipidemia, changes in cholesterol and triglyceride levels, are known as silent killers. These conditions often have no symptoms until they cause significant damage to the cardiovascular system. Periodic examinations can detect these problems when they are still in the early stages and completely reversible. From the age of 40, everyone should undergo a complete cardiovascular evaluation, including electrocardiogram and lipid profile. People with a family history of early heart disease should start this follow-up even earlier, preferably at the age of 30. Do you know when was the last time you checked your cholesterol levels or measured your blood pressure properly? In addition to conventional tests, new cardiovascular risk markers are available that can give you a more accurate picture of your heart health. Tests such as high sensitivity, C-reactive protein, and coronary calcium score can identify risks that would go unnoticed in traditional assessments. Talk to your doctor about which tests would be most appropriate for your individual risk profile. If medications are needed to control risk factors, such as hypertension or high cholesterol, adherence to treatment is crucial. Many people abandon their medications after feeling better, without realizing that the benefits depend on continuous and correct use. Your doctor can help you find the treatment regimen that best suits your lifestyle, making it easier to adhere to the long term. The formula for success: micro habits that generate macro results for your heart. The journey to a healthy heart doesn't have to be revolutionary or dramatic. Often, it is the small, consistent changes that produce the most lasting results. Micro habits implemented daily have the power to completely transform your cardiovascular health over time. Replacing sodas with water or unsweetened teas is a simple change that can significantly reduce your sugar intake. A daily soda increases cardiovascular risk by 20%. But each week without that beverage strengthens your heart. The simple decision to switch to your favorite beverage can prevent weight gain, improve your glucose levels, and reduce arterial inflammation. Adding a daily serving of dark green leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, or arugula to your diet provides dietary nitrate. This substance helps dilate blood vessels, improving blood flow and reducing blood pressure naturally. A daily serving of these vegetables can reduce your risk of heart disease by up to 16%. Parking farther away from the entrance of establishments or getting off one stop before your destination when using public transportation are simple strategies to increase your daily steps. These small extra doses of physical activity add up throughout the day, improving your cardiovascular health without requiring additional time dedicated to exercise. Would you be willing to add these little moments of movement to your day? Practicing deep breathing for 5 minutes every morning can significantly reduce your stress levels and blood pressure. This simple technique activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for slowing down the heart and promoting relaxation. With just 5 minutes a day, you can create an oasis of calm that directly benefits your cardiovascular system. Now that you know the 5 essential steps to survive a heart attack and the strategies to protect your heart on a daily basis, it's in your hands to turn this knowledge into action. Remember, every beat of your heart is an opportunity to choose life and health. Every decision, no matter how small, builds the fortress that will protect your heart for decades to come. Don't wait for the scare of a heart attack to value this tireless organ that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Start implementing a change today, no matter how small. Consistent small steps lead to profound transformations when it comes to cardiovascular health. Share this knowledge with the people you love. What you learned today can save not only your life, but also the life of a loved one who may never have access to this information.